Thank you. You may. Next witness, please. Judge, people call Kathy Hoeppner.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give in this matter before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Man, watch your step and make sure the chair doesn't roll off. I got the chair.
Would you state your name for us and spell your last name, please?
My name is Kathy Hoeppner, Kathy. Last name Hoeppner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Hoeppner, where do you work?
I'm a forensic technician assigned to the Michigan State Police Lansing Forensic Lab.
Pardon on the last part?
Sorry. I'm assigned to the Forensic Science Division Lansing Lab.
Okay, Lansing Lab is what I missed. To be a forensic technician at the Forensic Lab, what kind of education does one need?
It requires an associate's degree in a hard science such as biology, chemistry, like that.
Do you have an associate's degree in a hard science?
I have a bachelor's degree in biology from Central Michigan University.
Okay. How long have you worked at the crime lab?
I have worked there since August of 2023.
Okay. And Ms. Hoeppner, did you prepare a curriculum vitae and give it to the prosecutor's office in this case?
Yes.
I'm going to show you this document that's been marked People's Exhibit 17. Does this look familiar to you?
Yes, it does.
Is that a copy of your resume?
Yes.
And you provided that to the prosecutor's office upon request?
Yes, I did.
And is that a fair and accurate representation of your experience in the field of forensic toxicology and being a forensic technician?
Yes.
Judge, people would have moved to admit Ms. Hoeppner's CV as People's 17.
No objection, Your Honor. People 17 is admitted.
So, Ms. Hoeppner, what does a forensic technician do?
In the toxicology unit, a forensic technician is responsible for receiving, opening, cataloging the tox kits that are received daily in the lab. We also assist the scientists perform ancillary duties such as preparing reagents, stocking supplies, emptying biohazard duties as needed.
Okay. And that was your job, that was your assignment on April 22nd of last year?
Yes, it was.
Were you working that day?
Yes, I was.
Did you receive a specimen that brought you here to testify in this case?
Yes.
How was that? How did you go about receiving that specimen?
That specimen was a personal delivery. Deputy Kreger drove the specimen to the lab. When he arrived at the lab, the front desk staff notified the tox unit that he had arrived. Ms. Beecham and I went up to the front desk, and a hand-to-hand delivery was done directly from Deputy Kreger to myself.
Okay. Do you know about what time that delivery occurred?
That was at 10:24 a.m.
Is there a protocol in the forensic crime lab for the receipt and documentation of evidence?
Yes, we have a standard operating procedure. It is TX-PM 1.4 that covers all aspects of receiving, cataloging, logging in, transferring evidence.
So roughly, as it pertains to this case, what is that procedure? Or protocol, I should say.
So as I stated before, a direct hand-to-hand transfer was done. I then took the sample into the lab where I opened it, looked at the contents, cataloged the information, and then once I was done with all of those steps, Ms. Faust was already in the lab, so I then walked it directly over to her, and another direct hand-to-hand transfer was done at 10:39 a.m.
Okay. Could you, just for specificity, clarify for the jury, what does catalog mean?
So when I first took the kit back to the lab, I inspected it to make sure that it was sealed, that there was no damage, everything appeared normal. I opened the kit, I inspected the contents. The information that was included in the kit was entered into the laboratory information management system, which we call Forensic Advantage. The tests that were requested were assigned. The evidence and the paperwork was all assigned a unique lab identifier that stayed with that evidence and that paperwork throughout the entire process. I guess that's about it.
Okay. So I'm going to hand you well, first of all, do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is this?
That is the standard toxicology kit.
Have you seen these before?
Yes,
Many times?
well over 1,000 times.
I'm going to hand you this. It has its kit seal in place, but that's been cut so that you can open it. So you received a kit like that, pretty much in that condition.
Yes,
And you inspect the box first, I assume,
yes,
and you open the seal.
yes.
And then what do you do?
So I open the kit. Inside, there's some informational slips of paper. Typically, there are two 10-milliliter gray top blood tubes, two small screw cap bottles in case urine is collected, the cardboard holder that the tubes are placed in a plastic bag in case they're damaged. There are alcohol prep pads. There are labels for both the bottles and the tubes. And then there is what is called the FSD 93. This is paperwork that is filled out. There's 3 sections to it. The top section is for the investigating agency's information. The middle section is the subject information, and then the bottom portion is filled out by the phlebotomist and states the medical facility, date and times that the blood was drawn. In this case, because it was a hand-to-hand delivery, there was also what is called an FS-17, which is a small pink slip of paper, and that is filled out by the deputy, and that states the date and time that it was delivered.
So that pink piece of paper, that's not in the kit.
No, that
That's
is
filled out
separate.
by the deputy delivering it.
Yes.
Okay. So the way this kit is packaged, aside from some of the superfluous stuff, the urine containers and things like that, is that roughly what the kit looked like in this case?
Yes.
And did it have an FSD 93 with it?
Yes, it did.
And was that filled out?
Yes, it was.
Were the tubes labeled?
Yes, they were.
And what do you do in regards to the labels on the tubes with the FSD 93?
I compare the information on the tubes to the information on the FSD 93 to make sure that everything matches. If there is any discrepancies, those are noted in the case comments. And if information is missing or doesn't match, we will reach out to the investigating agency.
So when you opened this kit, was there anything of note about the condition of the items in the kit?
No, no incongruities were noted. Everything appeared to be normal.
No blood had leaked, the tubes were intact.
Yes.
And I think you already testified to this, but just to clarify, were the tubes labeled properly?
Yes, they were.
Did you follow all applicable lab protocol for this sample?
Yes, I did.
Is there a way to determine when a kit comes into the lab, is there a way to determine whether it's been tampered with since the blood was between when the lab receives it and when the blood is drawn?
Yes. Once the blood is collected, the officer places what's called the kit shipping seal on the box. That is typically initialed and dated. If the seal obviously is cut, or if you attempt to peel the seal off, it will leave a marking on the box that says void.
Okay. And the kit you received in this case, was it still sealed?
Yes, it was.
And I think I already asked you, there was no damage to the kit.
No, there was not.
And all the information that you cataloged, the labeling, the paperwork, that all indicated that this was a sample of the defendant, in this case's blood?
The information on the FSD 93 matched what was on the blood tubes.
Okay. And do you recall for this case whose name was on that information?
Yes, I do.
And whose name was that?
Marshella Chidester.
Okay. And you documented everything regarding the lab's intake of this sample?
Yes, I did.
And then once you completed your intake and your cataloging, you personally handed it off to Tabitha Faust?
Yes, I did.
After you handed it off to Ms. Faust, did you have any further contact with the sample?
No, I did not.
Okay. I can take that stuff back to you, make it a little more comfortable with that. Thank you. No further questions for this witness. Josh.
Ma'am, my name is Bill Palovis, and I represent Ms. Chidester, the defendant in this case. Okay?
Yes.
All right. And I ask you, and you've done a great job, if you could keep your voice up there, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. You at the time that you took a handoff or took this from the police officer and took custody of it, you had been working for the state of Michigan, that division, for about 6-8 months?
Correct.
And where did you work prior to that?
Sparrow Hospital in Lansing, Michigan.
And after the form was filled out, when this was handed off to you, this kit, you gave it to, who did you give it to?
Once I was done logging in the kit, I did a hand-to-hand transfer with forensic scientist Tabitha Faust.
Okay. And then did you see what she did with it?
No, that was the end of my contact with the kit.
Do you, is that solely your position back on the 20th of April last year, is to do these handoffs or receive things and hand them off to toxicologists?
Yes.
Do you work like a reception area, is it? Or?
At the time, no, I was part of the toxicology unit.
Okay, all right. And your sole position back then last year was to receive documents and then give them to a toxicologist, correct?
It was to receive toxicology kits that were submitted by law enforcement agencies.
And do what with them?
Open them, log in the information, and then typically samples would be put into storage. However, because this case was expedited, this was a direct hand-to-hand transfer.
Okay. And when you say when things are put into storage, what is storage?
It is a refrigerated, a walk-in refrigeration unit that is monitored daily.
And is it important that it gets monitored daily?
Yes.
It's a walk-in refrigeration unit?
Yes.
And do you know why the specimens are kept in a walk-in refrigeration unit?
Not exactly.
You have no idea?
I can't answer to that.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Any redirect? No, thank you, Judge. May this witness be excused. She may. Thank you very much.